What's up YouTube? Tinker Forge here for a pretty quick tutorial. This was requested on my most recent Tinker tutorial itemization guide. Link to that video in the description, by the way. In that video I go over every single item pretty much that you would ever want to buy on Tinker and when and why you should buy them. So if you're looking for an itemization guide, that's where you go for it. But in this video, someone left a comment asking me to go over my hotkeys on Tinker. Now, I will say it's a little weird, and I'll get into the reason why. So yeah, first of all, this is what my hotkeys look like, right? So Q on laser. I have March of the Machines on E because shut the fuck up, Kunkka. Holy fuck, shut the fuck up. So yeah, since I have so I have E on March set to March of the Machines, and that's because back in the old days, for like years and years, Tinker's March of the Machines would be his third skill, and Rockets were his second skill. So I just have the muscle memory set up to where I always cast March of the Machines with E. And same for Defense Matrix. Back when Defense Matrix was his shard for a little bit, I got used to casting it with the D key, and so that's why I leave that on D. So I actually don't have a W key on my Tinker loadout. Warp Flare on F, pretty like standard, right? What I do with the TP, so I kind of run out of space for the TP on my hotkey bar. So what I do for the TP is I use the same hotkey for both TPs. On any hero, my TP is always on X, and for Tinker, my Keen Conveyance is always my X. Now, if you have a TP in your inventory and Keen Conveyance is up, you will always your hero will always prioritize Keen Conveyance, right? I mean, even if you like Keen Conveyance is down, you just like won't be able to press it, right? Like say Keen Conveyance is on cooldown, I can't actually press TP with that button. So what I do if I want to manually TP, like say I'm silenced or I need a second TP real quick, I'll just manually click it, to be honest. To me, it's not worth going in and changing the hotkey every single time I want to do that, if that makes sense. Because this only comes up in like very rare circumstances anyway, to the point where I don't feel like learning the muscle memory for it. So that's how I set up my hotkeys on this hero. Some quick like tips and tricks for like spell casting and using the hotkeys. You want to get used to shift queuing your abilities. So when you're TPing into a lane, oh, and also if you don't have this option selected, this is also a game changer on Tinker. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Teleports requires hold stop. It's under the options menu right here. So this makes it so if you're currently teleporting, moving or casting a spell will not stop the TP, and it'll TP after. It like automatically queues up the action after. So say I want a TP bot, I can just press Blink Dagger ahead of time, and I'll instantly TP the second I get there. Now what you can also do though is shift queue abilities, right? In fact, I'm just gonna switch to a Arcane Blink so I have a little more time. But so you can also shift queue items and abilities, right? So if I'm TPing to say like top, and I want to quickly march the wave away, and I don't want, and I want to spend as much like time not in enemy vision as possible, right? So I instantly TP, hold. That might have been a little too fast to see, but you basically, when you start your TP, you hold shift, and then whatever you queue up after holding shift, the game will cast those in sequence. So say hold shift, press blink and march, instantly TP to the side and cast march, right? You can do this with, say, your mid. Like you'll see this in the games I play a lot actually. If I'm like mid and I've just farmed this wave like early game, and I want to go down to this camp and I want a mana regen the second I get there, oh whoops. So I'll press blink and then I'll press my mana draw and my bottle, and they'll instantly be used the second I get here. Right, so that's just another like little tip and trick that makes you just that much more efficient and that much harder to catch on Tinker. Let's see. Other than that, is there anything I'm really missing? The shard's not going to come up often. Shut the fuck up, Kunkka. Holy fuck. The shard's not gonna come up often, and there's a good reason for that. So the only instance in which shard is gonna be useful is if a carry is on top of you and they have MKB and not BKB, right? Because if they have MKB and they're on top of you and they don't have BKB, you can teleport them away. But if they have BKB and they're on top of you, then your teleport's not going to do anything anyway. And if they don't have BKB, you just laser them and they do nothing to you. So like the instances in which this is useful is like not a whole lot. Against certain heroes, it's really good. It's really good against like, let's see, let's go to attributes. Even though this is totally different than what it used to be. Holy shit. It's really useful against like Primal Beast. It can be useful against heroes that rely on being on top of you to do damage, like Sand King. It's really good against. DP, it's really good against. Leshrac is like crazy against it because Leshrac does not like buying BKB anyway. But I mean, if Leshrac's on top of you, you got bigger problems, right? Like, why are you letting Leshrac get on top of you? But yeah, so the shard's not going to come up very often. I was just having a slot that's a little comfortable for you to use. And I don't expect everyone to follow the command scheme I use either way, because this is something that I just have muscle memory for as a result of playing Tinker for like ages and ages, like literally 1,700 games. And like 1,200 of those are probably before like the rearm change. And probably 800 of those are back when way back when we had like March and Rocket still. So that's the reason my hotkeys are the way they are on this hero. If you guys have any more guides you'd like to request or any more clarification, if you got feedback, go ahead and leave that in the comment section. This is a quick one. But yeah, just going over my hotkeys real quick. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.